Aloha, beautiful souls, and welcome to another timeless pick a card reading here at Transform with Rian. And today's topic is going to be how and when you'll meet your future spouse. So let's get some options going for y'all to see. Oh wow, already one jumped out. How and when you're going to meet your future spouse. So feel this one and this one. So let's see. The first one you have is appreciate. So take a look at this image here and see if it resonates with you. For how and when you'll meet your future spouse. We also have memories as option number 2. And we have the third option to see how and when you'll meet your future spouse. Destruction. Ooh, what a way to end the options. Oh my goodness. So take a moment and see if appreciate, memories, or destruction resonates with you. You can also take a look at the thumbnail if you want to hone in on the images for a little bit longer before you make your choice. But if you're ready, timestamps are down below. I will see you there. Hello there, group number 1, and welcome to your timeless pick a card reading to find out how and when you'll meet your future spouse. So you were drawn to the first option here, which is appreciate, okay? So let me just tune into this card alone, and then we're gonna draw some more cards as well. But with this first card, what I'm sensing, is that you could meet your future spouse. Now, before I share with this, make sure that you take whatever resonates with you, leave the rest, because as you know, this is a general reading, so some pieces may not necessarily apply to your journey and your story. So just trust your instinct, trust your spirit as you receive these messages to determine which ones are most relevant to you. Okay, cool. So, what I'm getting for some of you is that you will meet your future spouse at some sort of function that's honoring somebody else, okay, with this appreciate card. So it could be some sort of fundraiser, right? It could even be somebody's like retirement party, somebody's anniversary party, birthday party, some function where someone else is being celebrated, appreciated, or recognized, okay? So it could be that both of you know this person, right? And then you're invited to this event, or, you know, there's whatever 2-3 degrees of separation. And you'll meet at this public function, this gathering. The other thing that I'm sensing actually is in the US, there's a holiday called Thanksgiving. And that's usually when you get together with your family and you have like a really big meal. Usually extended family is part of it, as well as maybe really close friends, right? So it could be around that Thanksgiving holiday, which is in November. So if you're not from the US, so you don't live in the US, then it's likely related to some holiday in your country where you're from, where it's about appreciating, honoring, being thankful or grateful for something, okay? But Spirit was telling me to get some more twin flame cards for your reading. So let's grab those. And then I was also guided to get some tea leaf cards and some tarot cards. So this is a really big stack of cards. Okay, there's one. Okay, there's a couple there. Sorry, it hit the mic, y'all. This one, this one, this one, and this one. Okay, let me put this down and see. Okay, one more from there. So we have those cards, and from the Decolonized Tarot deck, let's see what is coming out for you here as well. So I have those 3. Let's start there, okay? And then we'll see if Spirit needs us to get more cards. So you also have, in addition to appreciate, we have release. You also have vibration. We have union. Ooh, lovely. So definitely with this union card, I see like people gathering. And the other thing I was getting here too, it could even be at a wedding. okay? Like someone else's wedding. We also have bouquet. Oh my God, we were just talking about a wedding. So who knows? This is a bonus message for some of you. Maybe the next time you go to a wedding, you'll be the one catching the bouquet. We have the purse card as well. We have dogs. We have heart. Oh my God, how appropriate that you have this card here in a future spouse reading. I feel like we need to put this kind of in the top section there. We have bird flying. You have crown. Ooh, fancy, fancy. We have peacock. And teardrops. So I'm definitely seeing this could even be a memorial service or around some time where you're honoring people, because with this release and this teardrops together, I'm definitely sensing that, you know, this event might have a little bit more of a somber feel to it for some of you, whatever this gathering is about. And it's not necessarily like someone had passed away, for example. It doesn't have to be that type of memorial service, but it could even be something where, you know, someone's retiring, like a retirement party, and so maybe the coworkers are sad that this person is retiring and they won't get to see them regularly anymore, at least in the work setting, right? You also have Empress. The Eight of Wands. And the Ace of Pentacles. Oh. So what I'm sensing here is, I know sometimes people check out future spouse readings and they've already met this person, and you know, the reading may or may not confirm that the person that they're currently kind of talking to or dating is their future spouse, right? But I feel for many of you, if not all of you that were drawn to this first reading, you have yet to meet your future spouse, especially with this Ace of Pentacles, okay? This is, to me, like a very new beginning, new relationship. And, you know, Pentacles has to do with the physical realm, the material realm, physical plane. And so it could be that you have not yet met in sort of 3D reality. You know, some of you who are very spiritually inclined and focused, then it could be that you met in the dreamscape or on the astral plane. Like, that's totally possible as well. And it's just about you kind of organizing things so that you can meet in real life, all right? But I'm definitely seeing that this is coming very, very quickly, because we have the Eight of Wands here, which is a card that definitely signifies speed, okay? Things are happening very rapidly. It's like the minor arcana version of the Chariot in regards of timing, right? That it's fast approaching. Now, I'm seeing here for sure that for some of you, your future spouse could have a dog. Maybe you have a dog as well. It could very well be that the way you would meet as well is like at a dog park or walking your dogs, going on a jog. Maybe it could even be, you know, we were talking about like gatherings and things like that. So it could even be that you have enrolled your dogs in the same puppy training, you know, obedience training school, so that your dog is like, you know, well behaved and stuff like that. I'm also hearing, this is not what I was expecting to pick up on as the next piece of info, that it could be that your future spouse was born in the year of the dog in Chinese zodiac, or it could even be a confirmation for you that you made the right choice for your reading if you were born in the year of the dog, okay? What else do we have here? So with bird flying, I feel like this is definitely highlighted again, that this is something coming pretty soon into your life. I'm hearing the timing of maybe 3 to 4 months. Okay, now looking, so we talked about some settings, right? We talked about the bouquet, so it could be at some sort of wedding or commitment ceremony. We talked about dogs, like you can meet at the dog park, walking your dogs, at an obedience training school. Maybe you'll even meet at the is it called the Humane Society, or maybe the Pound, you know, where you can like adopt pets that are, you know, were taken away by the owner, or the owner didn't want them, or they were strays or whatever, that type of thing. I don't know if they have that in your country as well, but they have it in the US, where you can adopt dogs. So you might even meet there. Um, or at the vet. I guess the vet could be a place where you could meet too, you know, like sitting in the waiting area, the lobby together to bring your little furry family member back to see the vet. With this purse card, this is also confirming that what I was picking up on earlier with a fundraising event could also be a place in which you'll meet. I'm also hearing some kind of award ceremony type thing as well. So sometimes those like fundraising and award ceremonies are one, like put together as one event, and I'm seeing that that could definitely be a possibility for you. Now, not that I have money for this or that I go to these often, but it might even be at an auction. If you're the type of person that attends auctions, it could be that that would be where you'll meet your future spouse, or how you'll meet them as well. Now, there are a couple of things I feel are important for you to know, and it comes with this vibration card that when you kind of come into that same physical space, same physical environment as your future spouse, you you will get a vibe, okay? Now, personally, I'm not that type of person that feels love at first sight is very common, but I definitely sense that you will have a strong sort of attraction to this person, or they'll likely stand out, or it could even be that you might feel their presence, okay? Like, for example, if you're in that big banquet hall, or you're at a wedding and it's at a relatively large venue, maybe there's a lot of people, it could even be that you feel like you're drawn to kind of go for a walk through the crowd and just kind of see around the venue, around the gardens, if it's outdoors, and you might be in a way drawn to be in the proximity of your future spouse, like physically. And I'm getting from many of you that you can trust this vibration, this feeling, this magnetism towards your future spouse. It could be, you know, that maybe some of you are kind of like, oh, I don't know if I trust this. This is kind of weird. Like, I'm not one to be attracted to someone at first glance or at first meeting. Or maybe some of you are like, oh, the last time this happened to me, it didn't end so well when I was immediately attracted to somebody. And so maybe you're a bit wary or a bit cautious, but I'm getting from spirit that you can definitely trust that feeling when you experience it next. Because again, many of you have not yet met your future spouse. If not all of you that were drawn to this reading, it's coming quickly. It's happening here in the near future. Um, so that makes sense as to why this peacock came out, okay? This says, beware of great pride. So I'm getting that some of you definitely in, you know, the course of your past with love and romance, maybe you've been hurt, you've been betrayed, you've been let down. Maybe I'm hearing that maybe some of you actually had been engaged in the past, and for whatever reason it didn't work out, or you didn't end up being able to get married or having that commitment ceremony. And so when it says beware of great pride, I'm feeling really it's more this pride is coming out of fear and this need to protect yourself, okay? And you know, thinking like, oh, I'm not going to fall for that trick again. I'm not going to make that same mistake, right? And the thing is, you didn't actually make a mistake. Like, this was part of your journey, okay? And part of our journey is not going to be all like roses and sunshine, rainbows and glitter. Like, part of our journey does involve a little bit of pain, a little bit of tough lessons to help shape us into that better version of ourselves, or that version of ourselves that our soul is yearning to become through life's lessons. All right. And so this, I'm feeling, is really speaking to that guardedness, that it's okay for you to release or loosen the reins on, okay? Now, I'm not saying like just because you feel the vibes of this person that you need to propose to them right away or like anything like that. Of course, just let things kind of take their natural course. You don't have to force anything, okay? Because I believe that you are already destined to meet this person, okay? We have this union card here, like it's your destiny. This is like soulmate energy coming through here. So you don't have to force anything at all with this meeting. It's just about going through your day-to-day life and just being open to these possibilities, especially when this opportunity comes to you, right? Like going to this wedding, going to this fundraiser, bringing your dog for a walk, like being open to meeting a new person, all right? And there was a couple things I was getting with this Empress card as well. I was definitely getting, with Thanksgiving, it's one of those holidays of abundance because it's about having a big meal. It's about collecting the harvest, sharing it with your loved ones. And so it could definitely relate to this holiday of being grateful, being thankful, of sharing a big meal with those that you love, family, friends, taking a break from work, things like that. But I'm also getting some energy from your future spouse, which I wasn't expecting, that they're actually very kind, they're very giving, they're very nurturing, okay? So they could be very different from some of the lovers or girlfriends, boyfriends you've had in the past. I'm getting the sense that they're very attentive, okay? That they are that type of person that looks after the people that they care about and that they love, and that they're very intuitive and attentive to those needs. So it could even be that they can anticipate what you need, or that something is wrong or something is up without you even saying anything. So that could be one of your clues, okay, that this is someone that you can trust if they demonstrate this kind of characteristic, all right, as your relationships evolve, as you start to get to know them. And lastly, again, we have the Crown card, and I feel like this is sort of magnifying the energy of the vibration, okay, and that soulmate energy. Because again, this person is going to be like someone you have never met before, you've never encountered before. And I'm hearing, even kind of looking back, that this might be the type of person maybe you saw yourself, I should say, ending up with, or falling in love with, okay? So I'm getting definitely here that as far as the when, it's coming very, very quickly, okay? And it's really about you being open to this type of person who, again, might not be the typical type of person you're drawn to or attracted to, but they will surprise you with their vibes, with their presence, with their character, and the type of person that they are as you get to know them. And there's a lot of these sort of like gatherings and public events that you'll have a chance to meet them at. Okay, so I hope you enjoyed your reading. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. I think what we can hone in on here is the Crown energy. So if this reading resonates with you and you're claiming this type of meeting, this type of circumstance, go ahead and comment with the Crown emoji down below to claim the energy of this reading. And please don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel as well. Thank you so much for hanging with me. I will look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, loves. Hello there, group number 2, and welcome to your timeless pick a card reading to find out how and when you'll meet your future spouse. You were drawn to this memories card here, so let's see what messages come through with this first card, and then we'll draw some more cards as well. Now, this is a general reading, as I'm sure you all realize, and so I want you to just tune into your spirit, your heart, and see which messages in this reading resonate most with you, and keep that, okay? All the other things that don't feel quite right or don't feel like they fit, you can just let them go and release them, all right? I'm going to just pause this real quick and close the window because someone is doing some gardening work. So 1 second. Okay, sorry group 2 for that little pause, but let's see what this first card out has to share. So with the memories, I'm sensing a couple of things here. The first thing is you can be meeting your future spouse around a time that holds a lot of significant memories for you. So what do I mean by that? For example, the holidays are coming up at the time I'm recording this video, so Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's, that kind of thing. So if you have a lot of fond memories from your childhood and Christmas, or, even the recent years celebrating New Year's with friends, families, previous lovers, that kind of thing, then it could be that you'll be meeting your future spouse around those holidays, right? So it's going to be around a time, like some kind of anniversary or recurring event that holds a lot of significance for you, that holds a lot of precious memories for you. It's making me feel like, if you're from the US, the Hallmark Channel. Like the Hallmark Channel has these movies that are just so like wholesome and ooey gooey and like, they do a lot of like holiday romance movies around Christmas time and stuff. So it could even be like that kind of vibe, right? Like, so very pleasant memories, not memories that hold like pain for you. And I'm getting this message too, that it's those like pleasant, heartfelt, heartwarming memories that kind of magnetize your future spouse to you, okay? Because your energy is high vibe. Your energy is more in sort of like the positive wavelengths, and so that's a great I guess energy frequency to attract love or attract the things that you desire. Does that make sense? The other thing that I'm seeing here, I saw like a memorial. So it could even be that, when you take a trip or while you're visiting a memorial. So like there's this memorial for Pearl Harbor in Hawaii. Like I went to elementary school near there, and so it could be that you're going to meet at this memorial, and they have like the Washington Memorial too, at Washington DC in the US. So wherever you're at in the world, if there's some sort of structure, some sort of museum or building that memorializes people who have passed away or some very significant event in the history of that country, it could be that when you're there next, that you will meet them, okay? The other thing I'm getting with all these photographs is definitely a museum. I'm feeling like this museum vibe. I'm seeing like portraits and paintings, display of photography, right? So this very artistic space. It could even be at like a viewing, like at an art gallery even. It might not even just be at, a full blown up museum. It might be a smaller gallery. The other thing that I'm seeing as well, so there's a couple of things coming through now. Wow, it's kind of wild. We were talking about monuments, right? And so it could be a place where like a famous place that people take pictures at, right? Like a tourist destination. Or I know for a while I was seeing a lot of photos on like Instagram and stuff with the word love, like in block letters, like L, and then I think there's like a heart on its side, then VE, and this like big, I guess, installation or something, I don't even know what to call it, was seen in many different parts of the world. Like I took a picture of one in the mall in the town that I lived in Washington. There was even one in Taiwan, in Taipei, that I took a picture at. So I think there's these sort of like photo ops or like Instagram post worthy kind of settings, right? That you can take, that you'll be taking a picture at, and that's where you might meet your future spouse. So I'm thinking of things like even, at the Eiffel Tower or at Big Ben, Tower of London, Statue of Liberty, Mount Rushmore, Niagara Falls, like these places that a lot of people tend to take pictures of, like vacation destinations, like tourist attractions. That's probably a good word for those tourist attraction kind of places. I'm also hearing birthday. So you could even be meeting your future spouse sometime around your birthday. Because again, birthdays, everyone's birthday holds a lot of memory, right? Memories with them. So I'm feeling like that could be it as well. Interestingly enough, I'm also getting this message that you have spent a lot of past lives with your future spouse. Because One of the words here on the bottom of this card is repetition, nostalgia, excuse me, reliving the past. So you and your future spouse probably had spent many lifetimes together. So it could be that some of these places that I was mentioning hold a lot of significance for you and your future spouse in a past life. Ooh, I'm getting like chills from that. That is like so deep and so powerful. I was not expecting that to come through at all. Now I also have split energy, forgive, and receive. Okay, very, very interesting. Now with this card right here, I'm seeing the strawberries on there. So it could be, as far as timing goes, as far as the when goes, that it could be around the time of harvest for you, wherever you are in the world, like in your country, where you're starting to harvest the fruits and the vegetables, things like that. So I'm thinking, you know, maybe summer, fall kind of time frame, right? Whatever months those are. So that could be a timing thing for you. Here with this, we have this bridge here. So, you know, a lot of bridges, I just mentioned like the Tower of London, for example, like those are big monuments, okay? And so it could even be that you'll be, as a confirmation, that you'll be meeting in that type of place. I'm also getting from this that you might not actually even see this coming. Like it might kind of catch you off guard, like you weren't expecting to meet somebody and feel maybe a connection or spark a conversation with this person, because with this split energy, it feels like your mind is elsewhere. Like maybe you were like really busy with work, and then you're just like, okay, I need a vacation, I need a break, and you're just focused on like rejuvenating, recovery, and you're not even thinking about starting something new, like a relationship, right? And then that's when you met, you know? Oftentimes it's like when we least expect it anyway, when love kind of enters our life. What's going on with this forgive card though, y'all? I'm not even sure what this is speaking about. Okay, thank you. So saying things out loud sometimes helps me tune into spirit and get a response. So the forgive card has actually nothing to do with the word forgive. It's more about the setting, okay? So it could be that you will be meeting this person towards the end of the day. So late afternoon, sunset, early evening, right? Just when maybe the shadows are starting to get bigger because the sun is, you know, beginning to set. So that could be the time of day when you happen to meet each other, okay? And it looks like too the weather is really nice as well, like it's not rainy or cloudy, and so that could also be a clue as to the timing, as to the when. Let's get some more tea leaf cards. And I think we'll draw actually from the Fablemaker's Tarot. Okay. Oh, my goodness. Almost lost a couple of them. All right, Spirit was like this one right here. And let me shuffle this part of the deck and see if there's another one that wants to come out. There we go. Oh my gosh. And one just dropped. So you have like a bonus card. Eesh. So we will reveal this one in a moment. I'll put this right here because last time I saved a card for the end. I totally forgot to do it. And I had to like record a little bonus end of credits scene. Okay, oh my gosh, look at these two cards that kind of flipped with the tea leaf deck. You have the love card, ooh, and the ring card. Okay, so definitely what I'm getting with this is it's not actually going to take very long for you two to get married, for someone to propose to the other person. You know, sometimes I've seen engagements and people dating for like several years before they decide to go through with getting married, or, you know, doing that official commitment on paper and things like that. So I feel that's very different for the energy with you and your future spouse. Okay, I know this is about how and when you'll meet, but I feel like this specific combination is saying too that, you know, when you meet, it's like everything is just going to click very easily, and that your sort of like courtship, I guess we can call it, is going to be quite fast in comparison to the average sort of flow. Okay, and plus you have the love card, which is beautiful to have come out in a future spouse reading. Wouldn't you agree? We also have Tiger. We have Rabbits. Ooh, interesting. I don't think I've ever had the Rabbit card come out ever since I've had this tea leaf deck. Pineapple. Dogs. Oh my god, this card came out with reading number 1. So if you were torn between reading number 1 and reading number 2, definitely go take a listen to reading number 1 after this. And Tulip. So before I reveal the tarot cards, what's interesting is with the Rabbit and the Tulip card, the Tulip says great passion. The Rabbit says too much concern with sexual matters. So I feel like there's this sort of sexual attraction that's happening between the two of you very early on upon your meeting. And that you are both very much attracted to each other, okay, on the physical level, early on. So it could be one of those relationships too that is like you're physically attracted to each other, and that's really, really powerful. And then as you get to know each other, you realize that there's a strong emotional connection there as well. So for the tarot card, we have Ace of Wands and Queen of Chalices. We have Ace of Coins and the Five of Coins. All right, so what else do we have here? So one of the things that kind of came up, especially with this dog card in reading number 1, is the Chinese zodiac. So it could be a confirmation that this is your future spouse, or this is your reading if you were born in the year of the dog in the Chinese zodiac, or the year of the tiger, or the year of the rabbit. Okay, so you're at the right reading if you were born in one of those years, or if you find out that your future spouse was born in one of those years, then you'll find that this person is really someone that you have a deep soul connection and a soul bond with, okay? Now, one thing that I was hearing from Spirit, which I didn't really mention in the first reading, but probably because it wasn't relevant to them. But here, when I'm looking at the different suits, you have wands, cups, and coins. So wands represents fire, so it reflects the fire signs, and cups represents water, represents the water signs, and you have coins, which represents earth and the earth signs. So Spirit is saying the only sign that is missing is air, which is represented by swords in the tarot, and those signs are Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius. So what does that mean? What I'm seeing here is that those time frames for Libra, Gemini, and Aquarius are likely not going to be the timing for when you meet your future spouse. So in case you don't know, Aquarius is sort of like end of January to the first part of February, like that first half of February, okay? Gemini season is that ending part of May towards the mid-ending part of June. And then lastly, Libra season is that last part of September, so that last third of September, into the first 2/3 of October. That's actually a better way to say it, like last third and first 2/3, because that's kind of how roughly the zodiac signs match up with the months. Okay, so those are the times you're likely not going to meet your future spouse, but any other part of the year is fair game. Okay. Now, you have two aces here as well. You have the Ace of Coins and the Ace of Wands. So I'm hearing that it could even be that you will be meeting your future spouse at a time when you or they are starting a new job. Okay? That's what I'm really feeling with this combination, Ace of Coins, Ace of Wands, is when you're meeting a new job, or you're meeting a new job, you're starting a new job. So it could be that, you know, you might even be coworkers, to be honest, and you'll meet on the job. Or it could be, so if you're not working for the same company, for example, like what I'm getting is you work sort of in the same building, right? So like if you are in a shopping mall, like maybe you don't work at the same store in the shopping mall, but you work in the stores next to each other, right? Or you kind of, maybe they have like that little kiosk, and their kiosk is very close to or in front of the storefront for the place you work at, that type of thing. Or I'm also being reminded of the scene from Legally Blonde, where I think it's like the mailman or something who comes to deliver the mail to the beauty shop, the hair salon, and the lady who owns the hair salon has the crush on the delivery man, the mailman. And then they kind of, you know, they see each other regularly, and she develops feelings for him, and, you know, of course she's like, does he like me back? I don't know. And then the story progresses. I'll let you watch it to know the whole thing, because it's actually kind of cute. Especially with the bend and snap. If you know, you know. So watch that movie, y'all. It's super cute. Legally Blonde. So that's part of the when and the how type thing, right? When you start a new job, and it could be like you meet at that job. That's how you meet. Now, what's interesting with this Five of Coins, so again, we were talking about how it's going to catch you by surprise, like you're not quite looking for love when you meet your future spouse. And I'm feeling that energy here as well with the Five of Coins, okay? Where it's kind of like something else is taking your attention, your time, maybe something else is a little bit weighing you down, okay? And that's kind of when they come into your life. And I feel with this Queen of Cups, there's something about their energy coming in that helps you feel more at ease, helps you feel more calm with what's kind of happening at the time that you meet. So, for example, like starting a new job can be stressful because you're just learning how things go, and you're a little bit slower at things. So maybe you have to work a little bit late, for example, or you're getting frustrated because like you keep making like tiny little mistakes or errors, or things are just, again, taking too long than what you're used to because you're not you know, quite adapted yet. And so they could be someone that really kind of brightens your day, right? That's why there's this, I think, the sun back here as well. It like lifts your mood. It's like maybe the favorite part of your day or favorite part of your week when you get to see or interact with them, okay? Now, with this pineapple, what is happening here with this pineapple? So definitely, again, speaking is kind of going with that fruit theme with the receive card here. You know, when the harvest is available for fruits and veggies, could be definitely reflective of the timing there. You know, when I see pineapples, it makes me actually think of Hawaii and like tropical places. So that could be a location as far as like a where. So kind of like a bonus thing as a where you two will meet. And, you know, a lot of those places too have like beautiful photo ops. Like a lot of people take photos at beaches or at waterfalls, for example, right? So I definitely feel like that's part of it. So either, you know, meeting this person on vacation when you're in another space, or meeting this person when you're starting a new job. Those could be the timing things. And then, so the bonus card here is the Nine of Wands. So with this, I'm getting a lot of energy from your future spouse themselves. So it could even be too that they're not looking for love, like they're not expecting it. I'm getting this vibe too where they, they were maybe going through a tough or difficult. I combined those words together to make duff. Wowzers. They might have been going through a little rough patch in their life as well, in their journey, around the time that you're meeting. So it could even be that, both of you are kind of a little bit battle worn, a little bit tired, a little bit exhausted, burnt out, whatever the case may be. And that's why and how you meet on vacation, is because you both are just needing a break from it all. Or it could even be that both of you are new to the job, right? And you're both experiencing that same stress. And you kind of bond over that, right? I feel like there's some energy of where you're like bonding over sort of similar experiences, okay? And similar reasons as to why you find yourself where you are now, in that where element of where you guys end up meeting. Spirit, is there anything more with this? How and when you'll meet? Yeah, so I'm getting a little bit of like this stranger and energy coming through, where it's not necessarily like your friends or that you have a lot of shared acquaintances, right? It's not like, oh, friend of a friend or so and so's cousin. Like, I don't know if I'm getting that kind of energy at all, actually. I'm getting this energy more of like, you are not even in each other's orbits or in each other's like microcosm, and then you meet up together and there's this vibe, there's this connection that happens. Yeah, so like a lot of sort of varying information coming through here. So we got a little bit of how, we got a little bit of when, we got a little bit of where even. Let me know what you thought of your reading here, okay? Group number 2, or plop your favorite emoji down in the comments below to claim this reading, of course. And please don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel before you head out. And thank you for letting me read for you and share these messages from Spirit. And I look forward to reading for you again soon. Take care, loves. Hello there, group number 3, and welcome to your timeless pick a card reading to find out how and when you'll meet your future spouse. So you were drawn to this very interesting choice, I have to say, the Destruction card. And on the bottom, it says Tower Moment. Unexpected change, new opportunities. So as far as timing goes, and before I get into this, this is a general reading, and so really take what resonates with your spirit, with your soul, from all the information that's shared here, and then just leave the rest, okay? Because not everything in the reading is going to apply to you, and that's okay. So, what I'm getting from this energy as far as timing goes, as far as a when goes, you are going to meet your future spouse after some big change in your life, okay? This big change, some people think it's something scary or something to be fearful, anxious, or worried about, and that's not always the case, right? Yes, some change is difficult, some change is challenging, but also some change is very exciting, right? And that's these tower moments, where your day-to-day life or sort of your environment changes dramatically, like getting a new job, going to university, graduating school, right? Moving. Those are all big changes that are also tower moments. And the element in this tower moment, though, is sort of unexpected change. Okay, so it could be that you weren't expecting to have to move away. It could be that you weren't expecting to start a new job, for example, right? And then these were the circumstances that you found yourself in. And maybe the reason why this happened might have been unpleasant, right? But the fact that it is happening, this new job, this new place to live, is actually something very exciting in a positive way, okay? And maybe you won't see it right away, but it will actually lead to something beautiful, like meeting your future spouse, okay? It's one of those steps that happens before this fated meeting. And here with new opportunities, I feel like that spirit again trying to impress upon you that all change, no matter how difficult or how pleasant, is an opportunity for something new, is an opportunity to experience something wonderful, something soul changing, something that really will kind of help you on your soul growth, your soul journey, your soul evolution. All right. So I feel like I've pressed that point enough. I feel like you get the picture because, you know, most of you that are drawn to this channel are totally like awakened spiritually and very intuitive. So let's get some more cards to get some more ideas as to like the how and the when. So very, very interesting. We already got 2 cards, Observe and Alone. I'll show you the pictures here in a moment. Spirit, is there another one for group 3? This one right here. Okay, so we have Observe. So we see that this person has like coffee and their phone out. So I'm already getting from this that it could be that you're meeting this person on some kind of dating app, right, on the phone, or maybe their social media profile catches your eye, and that's how you could meet, or at like a coffee shop. Okay, that's why there's this coffee drink there. So maybe you're a person that frequents cafes, and that is a very likely spot where you'll bump into your future spouse. We have Alone. So I'm definitely sensing, you know, in the first reading, they were meeting their future spouse at some sort of gathering. But I'm seeing here, obviously, with your reading, it's a different story. You'll be meeting them when you're alone. So you're not going to be out with a group of people, out with a group of friends, so at some kind of like party, nightclub necessarily. Like it won't be sort of that situation. You'll likely meet them when you're off doing your own errands, you're alone. So maybe while you're like working even, right? Oh my gosh. Interesting. We have a big yes here. What does it say? The answer to your question is yes. So if you were thinking of an additional question, Spirit is letting you know the answer to that question is yes. Okay? So that's just a bonus thing for those of you drawn to pile number 3. Okay? So let's get some cards here to get some more information. We were getting some tea leaf cards. This. Oh, I feel like this purple card was like, well, you put me back in, take me back. So it was this one. And let's see, anything from here. That one. Okay, and we'll get some tarot cards from the Decolonized Tarot deck as well. How and when you'll meet your future spouse. Okay, so there were a couple cards that actually flipped to show the image. So we'll start with those. You have Egg and Cracked Cup. Now, one thing that I'm getting with timing with this egg here is in the US, there's this holiday with the Easter Bunny is what it's called, where people decorate eggs or they like they hard-boiled the egg and paint them and then go hide them in the yard or the garden or a field or even in the house. I've done before with my family. Or they get those like plastic eggs that you can like open and put a little treat or put money in or some kind of small toy. So anyways, all that to say that you could definitely be meeting around the Easter holiday. So that happens in April in the US. Now here we have Grasshopper. This is making me think of springtime. So that, at least in the Northern Hemisphere, April is part of springtime. So April, or March, April, May is springtime in the Northern Hemisphere. And then for those of you in the Southern Hemisphere, as I'm learning, being that I live in the Southern Hemisphere now, is September, October, November. Okay. So handshake, okay, look at that. New meetings for sure is what I'm getting with this handshake. And that could be moving to a new place, starting at a new school, new office, new workplace, new job, right? goldfish. I'm sensing abundance here with this. So it could even be that this new job or this new place somehow helps you earn more money. Like obviously with the new job, it's like you get like a pay raise or something, right? But it could be that as you move to a new place, maybe it offers you like a stronger income, for example, right? Like, I don't know, maybe it could be that some of you are moving to a place where the exchange rate is really better than the currency from where you're from, right? I know that can be the case for Filipinos, like overseas workers, they call them overseas Filipino workers. So, like, you know, the Filipino peso is not one of the more stronger currencies in the world. And so, when Filipinos go to work in other countries, sometimes that money they make is worth a lot more back home in the Philippines. So, that's what I mean by moving to a new place. Oh, you also have happiness. Look at that. I'm definitely feeling that some of the energy coming through with this how and when meeting them is like something really shocked you and likely upset you is the vibe that I'm getting. You know, I always try to be optimistic and hope for the best and, you know, expect that things will naturally just get better after they've gotten tough or difficult. But I'm definitely seeing that Spirit is pointing out that, you know, maybe the focus has been on like the stress and the negatives of a certain situation that shifted your life and came unexpectedly, but there is some beautiful events happening as a result, right? And that maybe what you thought might have been something a little bit bad or that you were sort of resentful or angry about happening was actually a blessing in disguise. We also have box. And look at this. You were the only reading out of the three that actually got a month card from the Tea Leaf Tarot. You got September. So at the time I'm recording this reading, September has passed. So it could be that you will be meeting them next September, or it could even be that you had met them in this past September and you might be in the process of getting to know them, right? So that could even be applicable to you as well. Now, the only other thing this might mean, again, taking what resonates with you, leaving the rest, is that you or your future spouse, September is like your birth month, okay? So that would be a Virgo or a Libra, depending on which part of the month you're born in, beginning or end. We have the Four of Wands. Oh my gosh, the Lover's card. Nice. So in literally every reading, there has been a card that represented some sort of love connection. And it was a different card in each reading, which is pretty amazing. So this is this Lover's card in particular. What it's telling me is there's a lot of like soulmate, perhaps even twin flame energy with you and your future spouse, okay? So we have Page of Wands as well. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Look at that. I'll talk about this card in just a second. And the Magician. So what I'm getting here is definitely, again, like it seems like something super stressful and kind of not what you anticipated, not what you planned for. Events kind of not following your timeline, right? Your desired timeline, your what sort of schedule and order events that you had set for yourself. But they will lead to greater stability and financial wealth, okay, ultimately. So some temporary discomfort for some long-term rewards and gains with this sudden shift. Again, moving to a new place or getting a new job are kind of like the main things I'm picking up on. And then for some of you, it could be like moving because of school or starting at a new school type of thing. But this Nine of Coins is really about prosperity and sort of financial stability, wealth, like having gone through something difficult and rising above, okay? Having put in that hard work, that time, that dedication, so that you can reap the rewards. Um, Now, what's interesting is I'm picking up on this energy, which I wasn't expecting, um, of your future spouse with these cards here. So, Page of Wands, Four of Wands, and this happiness. That your future spouse is someone who has this very bright energy, very playful, maybe a little bit childlike. They could be a prankster, right? And I feel like that's really what's going to perhaps draw you to them, okay? That, you know, when you meet, they could be like laughing or they could be smiling about something, and that could be what kind of draws you to them, right? Their laughter, their smile is just so, it's like a ray of sunshine, okay? This like beam of like joy, of happiness, and it could even be their laugh is a bit contagious, you know? And so that kind of like grabs your attention. Um, so, what about this how thing? So, I feel like it's what I'm seeing here, especially with this handshake and this kind of like alone card here, is this is sort of going to be a very traditional, sort of classic meeting, right? Where you or your future spouse, like, you catch each other's eyes and one of you goes and introduces yourself to the other person, okay? That's really what I'm getting, which I think is so amazing because it's not that often nowadays where people actually introduce themselves to each other when there isn't some sort of circumstances or reason for doing so, right? Like, obviously, when you start at a new school or you're getting assigned to a new group or a new department or something, like you go around and make introductions, right? But not just randomly, you know, when you're like out getting um, coffee, for example, do you introduce yourself to someone? Um, Even like I'm feeling like it's not even a situation where you're introducing yourself to the barista, the person making your coffee. Like, I don't even feel like that's the energy at all either. I feel like it's literally like maybe you're both customers and one customer is introducing themselves to the other. You know, like I feel like it's something like that. So that is like wild. I would love to witness something like that because I think that's so cool, and it's again something I've only really witnessed in the movies or TV shows, not in real life. And I don't try to think if I know anybody who's had that situation either. Yeah, not that I can think of. Usually it was like at some kind of parties, how people have met, or like someone else introduced them to their future spouse, right? Like it wasn't the couple introduced themselves to each other kind of thing. So very, very interesting. Um, what else do I see? So here, again, you have the crack cup, just so I can kind of cover all the bases with the cards. This is something, again, where it feels like your plans and sort of the trajectory that you felt your life was on kind of got shattered and broken, and life threw you a bit of a curveball. And with this change, okay? And, you know, when I think of grasshoppers too, I mentioned spring, but I also think of like, you know how they're like super duper still, and then all of a sudden they just like jump, right? Like if like there were a couple times where I saw grasshoppers or like crickets on the ground, and like I'm sitting there, the grasshopper's just sitting there, and then like I take a few steps, and it's like a sort of like this surprise or shock of how close they'll let me get before they like spring off or jump away, right? So I feel like this is going to be again a surprise, something that you weren't really expecting, because there was something else kind of stressing you out or something else you were dealing with because of this new environment, new job, new school, that kind of thing. And so meeting this person is going to catch you by surprise. And it could very well be that they introduce themselves to you, and that's going to kind of surprise you as to how they might captivate you in a way with their smile, their laugh, or this sort of like interest that you have in them, okay? Because again, you're kind of like, oh, I have so much things that I need to sort out with my life. I don't really have time for this right now, right? And I feel like that's what's going to happen here. Um, interestingly enough, I really don't feel a lot of other energies or messages coming through. The very last thing I will say though is the Magician card came out for you, and the Magician is a very, very powerful character within the major arcana. And this is an individual who knows how to manifest things, who knows how to create their own circumstances. And even though this came as a shock to you, you manifested this event. You manifested your future spouse, okay? Because you were desiring something. You were desiring on some level, like a change of scenery, a new job, a higher income. And then this is how it came out, right? And so I would say a lot of times with manifestation that I've experienced on my journey is like, you know what you want, you know the end product, but the steps to getting there aren't always what you would think, right? It doesn't always follow the exact step by step that you were expecting. Like, for example, me coming to New Zealand, like I had this feeling for a while that I wanted to try and work and live in another country. I just didn't know that it would be New Zealand, and I didn't know it would be at this exact time, you know? But the opportunity, when it manifested and presented itself, I took action on it. And I feel this is sort of that same scenario happening with you, where things just happen unexpectedly, like you weren't planning for it at all, but then this opportunity showed up, or your schedule kind of got freed up to allow something else to come in, and you just went for it. Does that make sense? Okay. I hope that resonated with you. I hope that made sense to those of you that needed to hear that. So thank you for allowing me to do this reading for you. Let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. You can even just type claim this reading if you're looking for this bold, bright, adventurous new chapter in your life that comes complete with a future spouse a few days later. Claim that energy by leaving the words claim it in the comments down below and your favorite emoji, okay? And don't forget to like and subscribe to the video and the channel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Thank you again, beautiful souls. Wishing you all the best. Bye.